My name is Claes Hultholm. I work as a legal advisor at the Department for Numbering and Addressing at the Swedish Post and Telecom Authority. Well, I think to start with, they are a necessity for even making things work. We know routing and so on with telephone calls and SMS messages and so on. So in that sense, they are a vital resource for functioning communication services. Also, I think but also with having clear, transparent, fair, effective rules for assignments from these plans and the plans themselves being clear and consistent also gives us a possibility to play a part, to enhance competition and a well-functioning market, I would say. I mean, first of all, I think following what's happening in the developments, new and emerging technologies, new user trends, and so on. I mean, there are, just to mention something, virtual numbers or cloud numbering is kind of a buzzword at the moment. But on the other hand, I think you could also argue that you don't, in order not to have a too complicated numbering plan, I think you should not have two specific use cases for each and every number type and so on. I mean, for example, a very simple example, you don't have to have one numbering range for 2G, another one for 3G and 4G, and so on and so on. I mean, it's enough to have one for mobile telephony, for example, just because sometimes otherwise there's something that looks promising but never takes off, and then you sit there and you have to change it again and so on. So I think, yeah. For really important services, there is always the possibility to use like shorter numbers, like shortcodes and so on. Easily accessible, easy to remember, which is important. For example, we have the emergency number 112 here in Sweden. It's very easy to remember. And in this sense, it's of course important that if you identify several different important essential services, that you have to have easy to remember numbers, but also distinguishable as well. On the other hand, be careful with shortcodes because they do take a lot of capacity from the numbering plan. This, I think, is a broader question than just numbering and addressing, of course, because there are so many things to digital inclusivity. But firsthand, on numbering and addressing and all the other topics that are covered in these areas, I think taking the information, but also it's important, I think, to adapt to the national circumstances, because I think there are different aspects within the markets and within each country as well. So it's important to. They can of course be used as best practice or best efforts and so on, but still it's important to adapt it to your national situation. Speaking more on digital inclusivity, I think it's also important. I mean, coverage is one thing to try to make sure that everyone has the possibility to be connected. I mean, and that of course demands that you maybe use different kinds of techniques. I mean, just comparing here in Sweden, we do have fiber to a lot of homes throughout the country, but it's very hard to reach the ones in the rural areas. So you need to. I mean, there's a combination of techniques can be used, mobile. Even satellite now is emerging as well, of course. But then connectivity is not all. There are always people, even if they have the possibility to be connected. There are the elderly, for example, or people with certain kinds of disabilities as well. You have to think about them as well and make it easier and for them as well, because connectivity isn't everything. It was. I mean, I think it's always interesting to be here and to meet from other countries. And since Sub-Saharan Africa is such a big continent, there's also differences within the group as well, which is always interesting. So I think that is the high point, to just meet different people from different countries with their own challenges, I think. But this time in particular, I think it was very interesting that we hadn't even started before we got questions, so that was very fun.